In the year 1372, the once mighty Marinid Sultanate of Morocco stood on trembling ground. The Golden Age had faded. The empire, once admired and feared, was now caught in the deadly grip of corruption, instability, and betrayal. Factions clashed within the palace walls. The royal court was no longer the seat of power. It had become a den of vipers. And into this storm stepped Abu Zayyan Muhammad III, a man whose short reign would be marked by desperation, conflict, and the fight for legitimacy in a kingdom falling to pieces. The rise of a forgotten sultan. Abu Zayyan Muhammad III was not a strong man like his ancestors. He did not rise on the wings of conquest or sweeping reforms. Instead, he ascended the throne in the shadow of decline, following the reign of Abu al-Fadl Abd al-Aziz III, who had struggled to hold the dynasty together. His claim to power was not undisputed. He was one of several royal contenders supported by different factions of the elite, each hoping to control the throne through a puppet ruler. The real power lay with the viziers, tribal leaders, and powerful military commanders who pulled the strings behind the scenes. Abu Zayyan was caught in a web of manipulation from the very beginning. Morocco in crisis. By the time Abu Zayyan took the throne, Morocco was no longer a unified empire. Its provinces had grown restless. Fez, once the proud capital, was still politically significant but deeply unstable. The southern regions, including Marrakech and the Dra Valley, were increasingly autonomous and difficult to govern. Rebellions flared across the countryside as local warlords challenged the central government's authority. The economy was in freefall. Trade routes through the Sahara were being disrupted by tribal conflicts. European merchants, once eager to trade in Moroccan ports, had turned their eyes elsewhere. Plague, famine, and civil unrest created a sense of doom that spread across cities and villages alike. And outside Morocco's borders, enemies watched with interest. The Nasrids of Granada and the Zayyanids of Tlemcen had long been rivals and occasionally allies of the Marinids. Now they sensed weakness and moved to expand their influence while the Moroccan state unraveled. A reign cut short. Abu Zayyan's reign, lasting only 2 years, was plagued with intrigue and internal resistance. He attempted to reassert royal authority, but the real power brokers, the viziers and tribal leaders, undermined every move. Some say he was nothing more than a ceremonial figurehead, while others claim he tried to build support among the people but was thwarted at every turn. His downfall came swiftly. In 1374, he was either deposed or killed under unclear circumstances. His rule had failed to reverse the decay of the Marinid state. He left behind no major victories, no sweeping reforms, only the bitter memory of what might have been if the empire had stood united. The bigger picture. The fall of Abu Zayyan Muhammad III marked yet another chapter in the tragic unraveling of the Marinid dynasty. After decades of military glory and cultural renaissance, Morocco had entered an age of shadows. The once proud empire that had challenged Christian Spain and unified the Maghreb was now ruled by short-lived sultans and dominated by palace conspiracies. But history remembers not only the victors, but also those who ruled in the darkest hours. Abu Zayyan may not have saved the kingdom, but his story is a reflection of an empire on the brink, a reminder of how even great dynasties can fall not in flames, but in silence. Enjoyed this deep dive into Marinid Morocco? Then like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to uncover more forgotten chapters of North African history. Your support helps bring these untold stories back to life.